Welcome to Steeltown Football, folks. Your stop for all your Pittsburgh Steelers information in the 2025 season. I'm Bill, this is Mike, and we're here to tell you everything that we know about the Pittsburgh Steelers here on your Steeltown Football channel on YouTube. So how you doing today, Mike?
It was a great weekend, Billy. Great
Yeah, it
weekend.
was. It really was.
It was the best the Steelers have looked all year. Great weekend, and everybody else lost in the AFC North.
Now,
That's
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 impressive.
always a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, so we don't have a scripted program today. We're just going to talk about the greatest division in all the NFL, the AFC North. And what it looks like basically a quarter through the season, right? 4 games. I know there's 17, whatever that means, but basically a
Right.
quarter of the way through the season. So your number one rival, the Baltimore Ravens, right? They're over.
Yep.
Would you agree that their season is over?
Oh man, I wouldn't quite say that, but
I
yeah, they
would.
are.
I would say that.
I mean, they're 1-4,
Yeah.
and they play the LA Rams this weekend, and they realistically could be 1-5. I mean, they're like
Yeah.
7.5 point underdogs on the road in LA. So they have so many injuries, and Lamar Jackson,
Yeah.
he was
He's
hurt.
not,
I don't
is
know
he
if
out? Is
he's.
he out for 2 games or just this coming or just
I
last week?
mean, I mean, Baltimore hasn't made that official announcement yet,
Okay.
but I had read last week that it could be multiple games.
I
So
had heard it could be 2 games, is what I heard.
yeah, which I
So
mean, they just got absolutely
yeah.
destroyed. I mean, the Texans. I mean, that's their worst. That's their largest defeat.
Yeah.
In like franchise history.
Really?
I mean, they lost 44-10 to the Texans, and
Wow. The worst
I mean, if
defeat
this
in
is
franchise history. Wow.
yes,
I did not know that.
44-10, and this is their worst start in franchise history.
Yeah. Well, I was watching
And
when Lamar Jackson got hurt against Kansas City. They literally, in the second half, they just quit. It
yeah,
was like literally just didn't care anymore. So after I saw that, I was like, I don't think they care anymore this season. That's why I think that
yeah,
they're over.
I would never, man, I would never, count them out. They've beaten us way too many times, but I mean, they've played by far the toughest schedule so far. I mean,
Yeah.
they've lost to the Bills, the Lions, the Chiefs,
They played the
and
toughest
the
schedule and they've
Texans.
lost every game.
Yeah, I mean, the
Okay.
only team they've beaten they've beaten the Browns. So, I mean, I think I mean, if they dig themselves too deep of a ditch,
Yeah.
they may not be able to climb out of that. But we got to play the Steelers. Got to play all those teams yet too. I
Yeah.
mean, we
Well,
still
when
got
when do when do the
everybody.
Steelers
So
play their first? When do they play the first game against the Ravens?
good question. I don't know.
Is
I
it
know our
is it?
next game is our next game is against the Browns,
Yeah.
and then we got the Bengals. For some reason, I think our
Hold
two
on.
games.
I may have a schedule here. Hold on a minute. Let me look at my fancy phone.
Fancy phone. For some reason, I think we
Fancy
play
phone.
Baltimore twice in December.
Okay. Steelers.
I think we played them the last
And
game of the year.
well, for some reason, it don't give me a schedule. At least the page I'm on. Yeah, so much for the Google. Oh, here we go. I
Yeah,
got a
I I
schedule.
I I think we played them later in the season though,
No, I don't know.
which will give them plenty of time to get all their guys healthy. And I mean, they played without like 7 starters last week, including Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that's bad.
I mean, that's and they looked. But you're right, they looked
Standings.
awful. I mean,
Yeah,
they look like I don't want to use the word quit, but for 2 weeks in a row, they've just looked horrible.
yeah.
And that's so unlike a Baltimore team.
All right, here we go. All right, you got your Browns this week. Then you have the Bengals. Then you have to play the Packers. And I don't know where these games are. Colts, Steelers, November the 2nd. Play the Chargers November 9th. The Bengals on the 16th, the Bears the 23rd, the Bills the 30th of November. Play the Ravens on December 7th.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
you play the Ravens January 4th.
Yep. Last
Last game
game.
of the
Yep.
season.
Yeah.
So,
So, I mean, that's why I'm kind of like, we haven't gotten to the heart of our schedule yet. So, I mean, are we realistically going to beat the Bills? I don't know. Probably not. The Lions? Probably not. The
Mike,
Texans, maybe. I mean, the Chiefs. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying we got a lot of things we got to work out
you should
first.
you should have a brighter outlook. Anyway, so we're
know.
gonna we're gonna write the Ravens off. Now the Ravens, when they play the Steelers, they will show up. Now the last game of the season, they may just like, well, we don't care. So that's the deal.
Hopefully we have everything wrapped up by then and it'll
Yeah,
be a
it won't
meaningless
matter.
game
Yeah,
and
but
it won't matter. But
the Browns, they don't know who they want their quarterback to be. You know.
right, though they started their rookie,
Yeah.
that Dylan Gabriel guy, who
Yeah.
I think I looked up his stats actually. He threw for like 140 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. I mean, they only scored 17 points.
Yeah.
Lost
Yeah.
21-17, but
So he
he
technically
actually
didn't.
played. Yeah, he played decent, but
Yeah.
you
He did
know,
no better than Flacco. So,
I
but
mean, I guess the only difference is he didn't throw any picks, and Flacco was
yeah,
a turnover machine for the first couple of games. But
yeah.
I don't
But
know.
you
But
do
Cleveland's
have to
got a good.
start these guys. Say it again.
Yeah, I say Cleveland's got a good defense though.
Yeah.
But offensively, they haven't scored more than 17 points in any one of their
Yeah.
first 5 games.
Yeah.
So
But I say as a coach, you have to start these guys because your older guys, such as your favorite quarterback, is not the
yes,
future. See, he's not the future. So you have to
right.
get these guys some playing time, which I understand completely.
Yeah,
So the Browns probably aren't really going anywhere, but they don't like playing you guys. You're a big rivalry, obviously. So they'll show up to
right.
play. At least in Cleveland, they'll show up to play. So that could be a tough
Yeah,
game.
yeah. I absolutely. I think it's going to be a tough game, and and not only that, but well, I mean, in history, we've always done really well against rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I don't know what our record is off the top of my head, but we've always fared well against rookie quarterbacks. But we also fall for a lot of these trap games.
Yeah.
And
Everybody does.
coming
Yeah.
off a bye, everyone's sitting on the beach for a couple of days, and then we got to go. I mean, at least we're home. Like I'm pretty sure we're home against Cleveland.
Yeah, it's a home
Um,
game.
but still, we tend to come out a little rusty with games like that. So we need to come out and just lay down the hammer early on. And, I mean, 2 winnable games. I mean, we really should be 5-1 at the end of 6 games. We should beat
Well,
Cleveland. We should beat Cincinnati.
if
And
you're
then,
if you're 5-1 after 6 games, realistically, that's the best that any team could hope for. Really.
right.
I mean, obviously, undefeated, but 5-1 is better than anybody could really hope for.
Absolutely.
If you're just
And
looking
then,
at your schedule, like, well, we'll probably have 2 losses. So
yeah, but if we can win the games we're supposed to win,
yeah,
and then knock off
yeah,
Cincinnati and Baltimore in the
yeah,
head-to-head divisional,
yeah,
then I mean that's how you win your division. So
yeah. Well, just looking at it now, there's really no reason whatsoever you shouldn't beat Baltimore twice. There's no reason that the Steelers should not beat Cleveland twice. Now, I have no idea what Cincinnati is. I have not read one word about Cincinnati this season.
well, I mean, they lost Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Um, they've lost three. They've lost all 3 games without him, so they're 2-3.
Okay.
They got blown out by the Lions this weekend.
Yeah.
Their backup quarterback has thrown like I think 8 picks in 3 games.
8? Wow.
Yes, he threw
That's
three
a
picks on. He threw 3 picks against the Lions on Sunday,
okay.
and I think 2 of them were like in their territory. So Detroit
Yeah.
had a couple of short fields to score touchdowns. But
Yeah.
Cincinnati's got the same problem. They don't really have a quarterback. I was reading
Mm.
somewhere today that someone, one of the other so-called analysts, were recommending that they trade for like Jameis Winston or something like that. Or
Jameis Winston, is he playing
yeah,
football?
he still is, and I can't remember for the life
Oh.
of me what team's he on, but he is still on an NFL roster. Go figure.
Oh.
Um, but I
How
mean,
about that?
their defense still allowed. 37 points, and it wasn't as close as the final score indicates.
Yeah.
The Bengals were down 28-3 at the end of three quarters. And
Okay. So the
so
so
quarterback is their issue.
yeah. So the Lions just basically put it on cruise and like, so what if you score a couple of points? We don't care. You know,
Right.
human nature, like, we're not going to
Yep.
pour it on them.
And Cincinnati's schedule doesn't get any easier either because they got to go to Lambeau next
Well,
week.
they
They
play
got the
the they
Packers.
play the they play the same teams that everybody else does in your division.
Yep. So they realistically could be 2-4, and then they play us in week 7, I guess it is. So I mean, it's God, man. I hate to get the hopes up. As a Steeler fan, it's really tough to get your hopes up. It's a good problem to have, I guess, maybe, but it's like we really have the opportunity to really distance ourselves from these teams, thanks to injuries at their key positions, and I just hope we just don't blow it.
Well, not having your number one starting quarterback is the worst injury you can have. There is no worse injury than not being able to have your starting quarterback.
Yeah.
So, and two teams in your division don't have their starting quarterback.
Right. It's crazy to think. Yeah, it really is, because it's been again, it's still very early. A lot can happen, but it's surprising like how non-competitive our division has been so far this year, when normally it's completely the other way around. Pittsburgh's not favored to win the division. The Ravens are still favored. Again, if you're to believe the so-called experts.
Oh, really?
The Ravens are still, at least to the odds makers in Vegas, the Ravens are still favored to win the division, even with 4 losses so far.
Well, in the NFL, to make up a 4-game deficit is unbelievably hard. It's unbelievably
It's
hard.
tough.
Right. Not saying it can't be done, but if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, I think it can be done. But anyway, let's say that he's going to make it through this season and he's going to be an upstanding guy.
Right. Let's hope so.
Yeah, I think it'll be okay. So my prediction is that the Steelers will win the division. Not based on the fact that they're the greatest team in the division, but the fact that everybody else has just fallen out because they have no starting quarterback. Lamar Jackson will come back, but they could be 1-6.
Right.
1-5 for sure.
And their defense.
Nope.
They give up 44 points.
Yeah.
44 points to the Texans. Yeah. And, CJ Stroud's a pretty good quarterback, but man, that is just not the Baltimore Ravens that I've watched play the Steelers and everybody else for years. Yeah. But I don't know how you turn that around with all the injuries they have, but I don't know. It'll be interesting, but it certainly is a gut punch for them. All the Super Bowl darlings, and they start off 1-4. Yeah. But again, they got a tough schedule, but still, just how it is. But it's good. It's good for a Steelers fan. Yeah,
it's good for the Steelers fan.
Keep having their problems and issues, and if we can get better every single week, and we can do a better job protecting the quarterback, continue to build on the running game,
this game coming up against Cleveland will answer a lot of questions. It'll basically give you an idea of Tomlin's game plan after a bye And can they continue to beat the weaker teams that they're supposed to beat?
Well,
So,
we tend to play down to our opponent, Billy.
yeah. Still,
You
you
know,
can still play down your opponent. You just have to beat them.
right.
An ugly win's an ugly win. So what? You may not win by 30. You only win by 4. So
You're right. A win is a win. But the challenge this week is, how do we prevent like Myles Garrett, from absolutely, raising havoc
Yeah.
in our backfield. How do we keep that guy out of there, because he's a wrecking machine and he's great.
Yeah.
But our defense has looked better. I mean, statistically, we're still, I think we're 19th
Still
against
okay.
the run.
Still okay.
I mean, we're 19th against the run.
19th against the run is not stellar.
It's not. But we've held our last 2 opponents. We've held.
Yeah.
We have not allowed a 100-yard rusher.
Yeah. That's good.
So, but offensively, one stat I found interesting: rushing the football, our offense is 31st in the league. So, despite our breakout game of 133 yards against the Vikings, we are still like at the bottom, for rushing, and we need to be better balanced than that if we want to have any chance of contending with and beating the likes of the Chargers and the Bills and the Chiefs and all the even the Broncos, even like these marquee teams that are later on our schedule. So one other very impressive stat that I thought was interesting, that we were talking about it last week, was the yak. The Steelers are number 1 in the league
for yards after catch.
Yeah, in the yak category.
The yak category.
Not the yuck category, the yak category. 7.5 yards after the catch. That is
that's great.
That's best in the league coming into last week's game.
How about that?
So,
well, all right, folks. On that high note of the yak stat, we're gonna end this highlight show of the Steelers quarter of the way through the season after the bye. So next week we'll be back to discuss the Browns game, and hopefully it'll all be smiles, right?
Right.
Okay.
Go Steelers, and anyone else who's playing the Ravens or
that's right.
The Bengals.
Go Steelers, and we're looking forward to the Ravens next week to be 1-5. Right on. So
if they realistically could be, I mean,
they realistically could be.
Same with the Bengals. The Bengals and the Ravens are going to be underdogs next week.
Yeah.
By a bunch, which is crazy, but crazy things can happen.
Hey, take the wins where you can get them, and them losing is a win for you.
Great way to put it.
There you go.
We'll end it on that quote. That was perfect. Right.
All right. So long, everybody. Remember to like and subscribe. We need every viewer we can get.
Yes, we can. Go Steelers.
That's right. Go Steelers.